beautiful weather, right? It's very sunny, and I'm actually on the back of my room. And then sort of wanted to have a very quick conversation with you, yeah, for a change, change a little bit from the office to all the setup, and yeah, and discuss with you. So, how are you doing today? So for me, I'm doing good. I don't know if you noticed. You've probably noticed, but we in June already. Already, you know, that's impressive how time is flying, isn't it? Right? And 2nd of June, very interesting. I don't know for you, but I actually realized that by the end of this month, actually, we're going to be at the end of Q2 and also the half point of the year, right? And immediately, as soon as you start thinking about that, what comes into your mind, or is what comes to my mind is, hmm, what am I doing? So, how am I doing in terms of the company, in terms of our objective, our targets, what for the business, family, but also personal, right? Sort of triggered me a little bit of anxiety, I must admit, right? But at the same time as well, some kind of hope because if you can look at your target, your objective, you know where you are. So you get a chance to obviously rectify things if they need to do, right? And I don't know for you, but if you're not doing that yet, what I strongly advise, you gotta have clear target that you want to achieve and break it down onto the different quarters, right? And monitor them on a regular basis. And for you to monitor that, you need to have some key metrics, and KPIs, or some people will call it, because these will tell you how you performing, how you're doing. And I was doing that all this morning, and I've not finished yet. I'm gonna take a full day today just to revisit everything, because I like to be on a better footing as I'm starting tomorrow when I talk to the team, right? About how we're gonna move forward in order to get a chance to really hit our target. Because it's very important for me. So yeah, this is something that you probably want to be doing as well for yourself because it's very important. I don't know, but I don't like to just come at the end of the year and realize that, oh, I've not been able to do this, not been able to do that. No, I want to be able to act on it as soon as possible, right? Very important. And one thing that I'm doing as well is always make sure that I train myself. I will attend a lot of other workshops, webinars with obviously leaders in the industry to learn from them. People that are making millions because I want to be making millions like them. I make no secret of that. Yeah, and I like to understand. So how are they doing it? What kind of system are they using? So this is something that maybe you want to be using. Yeah, you want to be doing because running a business or be part of a business, running a department, whatever it is, it's challenging, and you should expect challenge. Yeah. So, but if you monitor on a regular basis, then you stand a chance to get that going, and that is actually what I am doing. So I just say, yeah, June. Whoa, my God, that's interesting. Yeah. So looking at, okay, what works since the beginning of the year, what did not work? So how can I correct things? That's one thing that you want to be doing. So talking about something that works. So I'll just give you a little bit of a feedback on what I've realized this week. I've attended Blended Finance Africa Summit, right? This is my friend Ernest, right? And I gotta, you know, sort of raise my hat to him because COVID has not been easy for many people. It's certainly not easy for him as an events organizer, producer. And the first thing I realized, and I think I shared that with you, right? So if you look at some of the pictures I've shared on LinkedIn, it's like the event this year was very successful. Definitely more than the last couple of times I attended. And that's down to, his drive that he has, Ernest, not giving up. That's what the key in life if you want to succeed, I believe, right? Consistency, but also resilience, so important because you're gonna go through tough times. You're gonna go through tough time, but are you just gonna surrender? No, you're gonna keep there working at it. Yeah. So visibly, he's done it. Yeah, and the event was very interesting. Yeah. For the time I attended, obviously I was meant to part of a panel, just be a simple panelist. But I ended up seeing myself becoming pretty much not pretty much, I became the moderator because obviously the guy who was meant to moderate could not attend it. So I stepped into that and it went very, very well. Because right. So I like those topics. I like moderating. So we had a very enjoyable sessions, yeah. And I realized how much talked about blended finance. People really need it. People are in demand that, but there's also clearly, uh, that's what I realized in my session, disillusion many people. Like we go in those conferences, we're talking in and out, we say the nice thing, we don't want to be controversial, and sometimes we struggle to really talk about the real thing that can get things moving. Yeah, so that's one thing. When I participate in conference, I like to bring say, hey guys, at the end of the day, what is our target? For me, target is very important. Keep on talking about target. What is our target? And if this is our target, don't just take target that looks nice on the paper, but we know we're not moving nowhere near that. How do we make it happen? How do we see that? How can we convert those targets into numbers? Break it down, different sub target to see whether we're in a direction of travel or not. And if we're not, what are we doing to readdress that? Yeah, target is very, very, very important. I'm sure, Ernest had targets, when he started planning the Africa Summit. Yeah. And targets are probably for this year. And for me, in terms of the turnout, was able to, I believe, achieve it, hopefully. But also in terms of I would say, the interest, enthusiasm, people that showed up, clearly it was felt. We had a great time there. So target is important. So for you, my main question for you is, what is then your target? What is in your target, for the second half of the year as we're moving towards it? So how are you sort of monitoring your target, making sure you're moving towards it? It is very, very, very important. Everything is about that. You start with this target, and this target convert that into a numbers, some sort of a come up with math to achieve that, in order for you to control whether or not you're achieving it or not. So very, very important. Yeah. So that's what I did as well with Ernest. I went there. So when I went there, I had to moderate the session. I had to participate. I didn't know I was going to moderate, but I had to be part of a panel. So I had already 3 points that I've listed that I want to talk about. Like this was my target. Make sure that I can talk about those 3 points. But guess what? As I turned up to be a moderator, so I made sure that I include those points, in my moderation. But yeah, and I was able to deliver that. I was happy to what I have achieved. But first of all, as I say, Ernest did a great job with this event. So yeah, so talked about the fact that, realized that we're in June, preparing for the second half of the year. So I'm working out what's going to be, my math, my strategy, talking to the team, working on it this morning is now. Talk to you about the fact that when I went to Blended Africa, beautiful event, and then yeah, people really enjoyed themselves. And as I say, so clearly Ernest must have had a great target to achieve, and hopefully he achieved that. Yeah. So I'm inviting you to also have that. And the last part, I want to talk about what is actually coming up for this coming week. And this is part of one of the things that I have in mind clearly for me and as part of the target. So going next week, so I'm gonna be in my mind already making sure that I want to finish the year as strongly as possible. I'm already starting about that right now, not when we come to October because it's too late. So there's some very key things that I want to do for the team as well. And yeah, and it starts this coming week. This coming week, we have two effective events, two interesting events. So that's my target. Make sure that we deliver that and we can extract what we want from them. And one of those events, it's going to be on Wednesday. So if you went on Thursday, Wednesday, so it's going to be the Environment Day. So we're doing that in collaboration with Youth NREG. It's a youth organization in Ghana, and we're going to be talking about the climate action, being driven by law. Well, specifically looking at the impact of the Climate Action Act levy in Ghana. So I want to get the perspective from that youth organization, and they're going to be driving. I'm going to be attending as a panel, but it's going to be driving the conversation. So I strongly invite all of you to attend. But why would it do that? Why would it be interesting for you? Well, I think if you want to understand how uh, the whole actions, climate action is being driven in Ghana, how do people react on the ground and get some perspective on the market there? You want to attend that. And the very important thing is, especially for young people, we have young people, people that I say going to be driving the continent tomorrow, already driving it now, they start getting into the conversation. I find it beautiful. So if you are looking to get some understanding there and look at also connecting with leaders from tomorrow, this is a chance for you to step into that. I'll make sure that I obviously drop the link of the webinar so at the bottom, so you're gonna be seated. And I'm inviting all of you to come and participate because it's gonna be some great time that we spend together. And on Thursday, that's gonna be the second thing that we want to deliver for this coming week. It's a conversation with a gentleman called Alvaro. Yeah, Alvaro de Simon. So Alvaro, obviously, it's an expert in the solar field, also wind as well. But we're going to be looking at more specifically this week at the solar market in Spain. Yeah, so in the Iberia market. Yeah, so because Spain is one of the key markets for solar. So understand how they've built that industry, what happened there. They clearly have the results. Why we want to be looking at solar? So if you're looking at the map, you have time to look at that geographically, and also you're looking at the heat map, you will see that Spain has an incredible climate weather, yeah, pattern, yeah. So it's the heat that is there. It's sort of close to what we're getting in many places in Africa. So in that sense, it's a good idea to see for a country where we know the resources there by default. So how are they driving? How did they actually come up and building that fantastic industry that they're having? And you become surprised because although the resource is there, they've had some critical challenges that they have to solve, and he's going to be talking about that. So I'm inviting you to participate. So what is the interest? As I say, if you're part of the African market, so you want to learn what happened in mature markets and take inspiration on that and see how you can actually model it into your own country. If you're not part of Africa, but you're part of the industry, clearly you want to learn as well from that because, like I say, how did Spain obviously build the industry that they're having right now, right? And driving forward. And what kind of challenge they've gone through. What can you learn from it? This is something that I'm inviting you as well to look at. And for us, those are two key targets that we want to be delivering for this week. And going for the second half of this year, this is what we want to do. We want to bring very interesting events for you to learn from the industry. Like I said, we want to simplify the whole thing around you. Yeah, this is what we want to be doing. So that's what I wanted to do for this week. So I noticed I didn't start the conversation the way I usually start by introducing who I am. But hopefully by now you know me, man. So my name is Tony T, your founder here of Renewables in Africa. Our job is very simple. It's to spread awareness about renewables energy in Africa, but also across the globe. And we do that, using fantastic tools like our awareness program. We're using tool to making sure that we give you the visibility you need, but also the leads, but also the sales. This is what we do. So yeah, that was just some perspective of reflecting of what happened. So in the what happened basically in the year, and then for you to understand how you can also drive your second half of the year going forward. To be clearly have target for the second part of the year. How are you going to drive that forward? Yeah, you can see there's a plane going out there. Probably could hear also my son. So in the background. So that's what I had to say for today. So you have a beautiful week. But guess what? Have targets. Make sure that you understand what they are. Do the math, control your target, see how you're moving forward, and hopefully you get close to it and exceed it. Have a great week. Bye bye.